And here we are in Lesson 2, Lecture Notes. Now, there's much going on in Lesson 2, and I'm not going to try and cover nearly anything, but I do want to talk to you about Shakespeare and King Lear. So, in terms of Shakespeare, you might benefit from just thinking about Shakespeare in a way I'm going to say you probably never thought of him before, which is we can view him as a very successful businessman. And what I mean by that is I think that Shakespeare would be very surprised to learn that we still study his plays today. Perhaps he wouldn't be so surprised at us studying the poetry like the sonnets, but the plays, I think he would be surprised. And I say that because he made no effort whatsoever to save those plays for posterity so that we would have them today. Shakespeare, as a businessman, was the main playwright for the company that worked at the Globe Theatre, where these plays were chiefly performed. And he received a percentage of the house, of the gate. People would buy tickets, and he would get a percentage of that. And that was the money for his retirement. And that's how he looked at this. So he was very successful in that sense. As a matter of fact, it may interest you to learn that we have nothing whatsoever by Shakespeare that was written in his own hand. We just, it's all been lost to history. Now, as far as his plays, I think one of the main reasons we do still study them today, 400 or so years later, is because people really haven't changed that much, if you think about it. Every Shakespearean tragedy, the main character has a Shakespearean tragic flaw. In King Lear, it's his folly. He's a fool. In Macbeth, it's his blind ambition. In Hamlet, it's his remarkably frustrating indecision. How much have people really changed? All of us, you can think to yourself right now how at times you've been indecisive about things in your life. Certainly everybody can say that, and sometimes about very important things. We've all been driven by ambition or desire for something, maybe a material thing that, in retrospect, it wasn't the best decision to be that involved with wanting that one thing. Same thing with Macbeth. And how many of us have made foolish decisions in our lives? Well, all of us, and as does King Lear. And so when I say folly is his tragic flaw, we look at the beginning scene of King Lear, the play. What does he do but expect things will go well if he divides his kingdom up in three and gives 2/3 to his evil daughters, who he's not savvy enough to realize are evil, Regan and Goneril. And as for the only daughter that loves him, Cordelia, he banishes her. Wise king. So the kingdom gets divided in half between the two evil sisters. And so you should look to that for any sort of critical analysis for a paper you would write. You can also look at the relationship really between King Lear and the fool, in the sense that who do we expect to be wise between a king and his court jester, and who do we expect to be kind of a fool? And what actually is going on in terms of those two characters in this classic play? Well, I hope some of this is helpful to you, and enjoy the reading. Thank you.